bring this down? Yeah, just ready to go. I gotta go with them. Okay. You can put that down. So record. Record to cloud. Okay, record to cloud. Okay, you're all set, Councilwoman.
Thank you very much.
Very well.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Special Committee on State Legislative Affairs regular meeting, Wednesday, March 3rd. It is 5:33. Madam Clerk, could you kindly read the roll?
Chairwoman Ryan,
Present.
Vice Chairman Taylor, absent. Council President Matos,
Present.
Councilor Salvatore,
Present.
Councilwoman Harris,
Present.
Councilman Espinal,
Present.
Councilman Goncalves.
Present.
There are
We have-
6 present and 1 absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'd like to recognize, we have our Director of Policy here, Sean Bouchard is with us this evening and is going to help us. We have 2 fabulous clerks with us running our meeting, Angela Harris and Sherry Petronio. Thank you very much for keeping us all organized. I appreciate your efforts.
Councilwoman, just so you know, I got a call from Ms. Southgate, the city solicitor. She is away. She got an invite, and so did Etty. So I don't know if Etty's coming on or not, but we did send 2 invites to 2 solicitors to be on this meeting this evening.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, Madam Clerk, could you kindly read the first item into the record?
Resolution endorsing and urging passage by the General Assembly of Senate Bill 2021 S-0030, an act relating to health and safety, air quality in schools.
Thank you. Sean Bouchard, may I ask you to start us off here and explain what this is and where it is up at the General Assembly? I think that might be helpful.
Certainly, Madam Chair. So just a very brief overview. Senate Bill 0030 is an act regarding air quality in schools. It was referred to the Senate Committee on Education, where it has not been taken up yet. As just a very brief overview of what this bill proposes to do, it would require the Department of Health, in conjunction with the Department of Environmental Management, to conduct indoor and outdoor air quality tests in all public and private schools throughout the state on an annual basis.
Thank you. And we have the lead sponsor here, Councilman Salvatore. Do you have any thoughts you'd like to share with us on this?
Thank you, Chair and members of the committee. Yeah, I think this is something that that we've talked a lot about over the years relative to the air quality inside of our school buildings and outside. As you know, the infrastructure of these buildings have certainly aged throughout the decades. And if there's one thing that we've learned about our school buildings during the pandemic, it's that we need to be prepared. We need to be prepared to address these issues on a long-term basis. It's wonderful that the state and the city are making progressive steps in finding new funding to bring our public and private, well, our public schools up to 21st century standards. But this bill would also require the Department of Health and DEM to conduct those air quality control tests annually at private schools as well. I think that's equally as important. So this is something that I fully support. I really like the transparency piece of the bill, which would require the Department of Health to publish this information on an annual basis, so that parents, students, teachers, faculty, staff alike all know what's happening inside and outside of their building from an environmental perspective. So again, this is something that I fully support, and I commend Senator Golden for leading this effort on the Senate side.
Thank you. Committee members, I see Councilman Goncalves, you have your hand up.
Sure. Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate Councilman Salvatore for bringing this matter forth. As he mentioned, this act would require DOH and DEM to work in conjunction with each other to conduct indoor and outdoor air quality tests, and that's really desperately needed. In fact, Eco Rhode Island recently did a wonderful article about this issue, and Providence, in fact, has 24 schools within 1,000 feet of major roads. One of those schools is in our district, Vartangagorian Elementary School, and that's directly adjacent to Interstate 195. So families are concerned about air quality at schools. This is an environmental issue, it's a health issue, and I appreciate the sponsor for putting this forth.
Can I ask the sponsor, does this bring the air quality standards up to the requirements for COVID-19? I know that a lot of restaurants and public buildings are putting in HVAC systems and air purification filters and things. Is that contemplated in this?
No, not to my knowledge, Chair. I think really what this does is shine a light on some of the deficiencies around
Okay.
air quality control inside and outside of school buildings. In terms of funding, it's my understanding that the state would be allowed to apply for state and federal grants so that these tests can be conducted. So it sounds like it's fiscal neutral in terms of the state budget. But again, I think from a long-term planning strategy perspective, I think the state and the city really needs to wrap their heads around how they're going to address this moving forward, since we've learned so much from COVID-19.
Thank you. Committee members, any other questions on this? Council members, I don't think we have any other council members on that I haven't recognized. Clerks, am I missing anyone?
No, everybody's on, Councilwoman.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the committee?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion to approve by Councilman Salvatore, and someone said second. I don't know.
Councilman
Second by Councilman Goncalves. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion passes. Thank you very much, Councilman, for your work on that. All right, on item 2 and 3, I understand from Director Bouchard that these 2 items have been withdrawn by the sponsors up on the Hill. Is that correct? Okay.
That's correct, Madam
So-
Chair, both of them have been.
So let's waive the readings of item 2 and 3 and continue these 2 items indefinitely. Item 2 and 3. May I have that motion?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Motion made by Majority Leader Harris, seconded by
Second.
Councilman Espinal. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay. Motion passes on 2 and 3. Item 4, Madam Clerk, could you kindly read item 4 into the record?
Resolution endorsing and urging passage by the General Assembly of House Bill 2021 H-5130 and Senate Bill 2021 S-0001 as amended, an act relating to labor and labor relations, minimum wages.
Okay, I'm going to ask Director Bouchard if you could explain what this is all about and where it is up at the State House.
Certainly, Madam Chair. So Senate Bill 0001 and House Bill 5130 are companion bills that aim to raise the state minimum wage requirement up to a total of $15 per hour over the course of the next 4 years. In terms of where they're at, Senate Bill 001 was approved by the Senate on February 10th and referred to the House Committee on Labor. House Bill 5130 was heard by the House Committee on Labor on February 24th and was continued for further study.
Great. Lead sponsor, Councilwoman Miller, do you have, would you share any thoughts on this with us?
Sure. Thank you, Madam Chair. I think I'm not sharing anything that everyone here doesn't already know just about the ways in which the minimum wage has not supported, even with our, more than the federal minimum, has not supported the needs of families over the years, hasn't raised with inflation, disproportionately raising the minimum wage would support families of color, Many more families of color depend on minimum wage jobs now than not. And the thing that I think we often don't think about when we're thinking about minimum wage is how much that money goes straight back into the local economy. So it's an opportunity to like build demand for the small business that is paying the minimum wage, also benefits by paying a higher minimum wage because more people have money to spend on our local economy to build up that business. That's everything I got.
Thank you. Anyone else? Committee members, any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Do we have a motion?
Motion to pass. Madam-
Motion to pass item 4. Seconded by Councilman
Seconded.
Espinal.
Second.
I have a hand up. Councilman, do you wish to?
That's actually me. Before we vote on, I just want to
Yes.
echo the expressions of my colleague, Councilwoman Miller. It's way overdue. It's time that we raise the minimum wage. And this is done in a way that is not going to have a tremendous impact on business, small businesses. It's going to be phased in, with the average family, a worker making $15 an hour, it should put enough money out there. It's a boost to the economy. It's the right thing to do. So I wholeheartedly support it.
Thank you. Anyone else have any further comments before we finish up our vote? Councilman Goncalves.
Sure, just echoing the remarks. I mean, thank you, Madam Chair. This would lift lots of people potentially out of poverty. You know, low wages are a challenge and hurt all workers and families and are particularly harmful to communities of color, especially women of color, who make up a disproportionate share of some of the workers who are underpaid. So I support this measure, and I hope the rest of the council would certainly support raising the minimum wage to be gradually phased into $15 an hour.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Madam Chair,
Certainly. Madam Leader?
I do not, but I would like to ask the co-sponsor, I would like to ask the sponsor, could I co-sponsor?
We've got a request from the majority leader to co-sponsor this.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Objection?
Majority leader.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, folks. Is that all? Is that everyone? We've got a motion made. Oh, Council President.
I wanted to co-sponsor. I thought it was a sponsor already, but now I would like to co-sponsor.
So noted.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Ayes have it. The motion to pass item 4, recommend passage on the floor for item 4 is approved or passes. Okay. Madam Clerk, the last item we have is item 5. Could you read that into the record, please?
Resolution endorsing and urging passage by the General Assembly of House Bill 2021 H-5257 and Senate Bill 2021 S-0121, an act relating to property, Rhode Island Fair Housing Practices Act.
Okay.
Chair, before we begin deliberations, I'm going to turn my camera off as I am going to recuse myself from item number 5.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Director Bouchard, do you want to just briefly tell us what this is about and where it's at the State House?
Certainly. So Senate Bill 121 and House Bill 5257 are companion bills regarding the lawful source of income. House Bill 5257 was passed by the House yesterday, which is the first time that bill has actually been able to make it through the House. Senate Bill 121 is currently sitting in the Senate Judiciary Committee and has not been taken up yet. So we are awaiting to see movement on that front.
Thank you, Director. Lead sponsor Miller, would you share your thoughts on this and why it's important?
Yeah, absolutely. So it makes statewide what we passed here in Providence about not discriminating against the sort for any renter tenant for the source of your income. It's important for all of the reasons that we went through together on city council. But also, you know, I think it's important to share with the Senate and with the House, although they already passed it, share with the Senate then primarily the urgency of this matter from our perspective, and that we have a state law that covers people who don't just live in Providence. As we know, the struggle to find housing is a statewide issue.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Madam Chair.
Council members, any other committee members, any other thoughts? Councilman Espinal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to thank the House members and the lead sponsor at the House, Representative Williams, for putting this forward. We debated this legislation back and forth in the committee, and it's a good legislation. It stops actually discrimination, which is Section 8 discrimination, source of income discrimination. It alleviates our society that desperately need help. We have a housing crisis, and we feel that this is going to help as our families move forward seeking for apartments, and what there will not be question about the source of income as long as it is legal. This specifically addresses negative actions that have been taken against families just because they happen to have a Section 8 voucher. So this puts an end to that. We passed it at City Council. They took it up on the House. It passed the House. So just want to urge the members of the Senate and Rhode Island to actually take this up and to also pass it. It's desperately needed by the families of our states. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Anyone else like to speak on this item? Anyone else? Okay. Do I have a motion?
Motion to pass this item?
Motion to pass item 5 made by Councilman Goncalves. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Espinal. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Recused.
Ayes have it. Motion passes. Seeing that there's no further business before us this evening, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion
So
to
moved,
adjourn.
Madam Chair.
Motion to adjourn by Councilman Espinal, seconded by Leader Harris. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. We're in adjournment. Thank you very much, all. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
evening. Stay safe. And thank you, clerks. Thank you.
You're very